What if I told you that you could be disconnected from yourself and not have any idea about this? That was me for many years. I took very good care of myself. I slept very well. I had great self care. I ate healthy. I took care of my family, my life, myself. But yet there was this kind of low hum underneath everything, and I couldn't even place what it was. There was this feeling that something was off, but I did not even have words for it. I had some like low mood, low joy, but again, everybody else was I was no different than anybody else, and I didn't even recognize what was happening. So slowly, I started to notice that I was disconnected from myself. And like I said, I had no idea about it. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. What it means to be disconnected from yourself, how this happens, ways to recognize this in ourselves, and how, if this is something we choose to, connect with again, how this works. So welcome to this video. My name is Krista, and I guide and support women who are tapping into their inner wisdom, their inner knowing, and learning how to trust themselves and to make, aligned decisions that are best for them, and to kind of propel them into the life that they're wanting to live. So, okay, so let's talk about disconnection. And if you're like me, most it's so common, and there's no shade there, there's no shame. It's so common, and I find it's not something that we talk about often either. So that's why it's probably not out in the forefront. So what does it look like, and how will you know? Oftentimes it's not a crisis at all. There's no big catastrophic event that happens. It's just kind of, it's life. It's just you are managing yourself, and you can't even name it. It's just this low grade hum, and something feels off, but you don't potentially even have the words for it. Your life might look pretty good from the outside. You're efficient, you're managing, everything probably looks quite good. But again, there's just like something's off without even without understanding what's off. Really, I would say it's just very invisible. That's just kind of this invisible nature of disconnection. That's how it begins, I would say. So what does it feel like? What does disconnection feel like in our body? I would say it feels like a lot of busyness. It feels like this need to keep moving, to never slow down, to not often have time with ourselves alone, just to keep kind of propelling forward, doing what we are expected to do, doing what other people want us to do, smiling at the things that we don't even want to smile with. It might be doing activities or hanging out with people we don't even really want to be with, because that's what we do, right? This is what we're supposed to do. So that's how it often might appear for yourself. And I also found it was like this low level of just fatigue, like this really tired feeling, even though you were sleeping really well. And it's the type of fatigue that sleep can't even fix, because it's not a physical tired that you're experiencing. It's almost like a soul tired. Your soul is tired, and your soul is kind of guiding you towards that. But it's the type of tired that your sleep won't fix. And that's why it just kind of perpetually goes on, and oftentimes we don't recognize it with ourselves. It's just this disconnection. So why don't we recognize this in ourselves? I would say for me, it's not something that was ever talked about. Like my circle of friends, my girlfriends, it's not like we would ever discuss this. That would never come up. So it wasn't even like I was aware of it for the longest time. We're not asking each other, so what are you feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? And really being honest with our answers. Most of the time it was a lot of surface talk conversations, and they weren't these deep conversations. So it never came up, and I never would have recognized it in myself. It's not something I read about or saw often it getting attention. So it was just, I didn't know what I didn't know, right? And that's that's really, I think, what happened for quite some time. It was just my default. It was just what I knew. And it felt like Groundhog Day, though, really. Like it kind of, you'd wake up, go through your day, go to bed, and just the same thing over and over again. So there was a lot of that. So that's why, no grief, because that's why we don't recognize it, because it's so normal in society, and we've just done it for so long that we don't know a different way. So what does connection feel like in your body when you start to get to that other side, and how does it feel in your body? Because there's a difference, and because I have experienced the disconnection for sure, and now I definitely am more connected to myself, and I'm connected to my body. So I can share what I have noticed in myself. I'm not saying everybody else will notice this, but it feels like you're coming home to yourself. It feels right. It feels calm. It feels peaceful. It feels true. Like you have this deep truth within yourself. You're not doing things to get along. You say what you want to say without worrying about other people's emotions or feelings. You act in a way that feels good to you, that feels right for you. It's quiet. It's not like you become this brand new person all of a sudden. No, it's very subtle. It's very quiet, but there, you can feel there's a sense of evolution with it. No question about it. Something's different, but it just feels good. It feels right. It feels true. That's how I describe it for myself. So again, other people might have a different experience, but that's what it feels like for me. You feel like you can breathe again. You feel like you're not holding your breath. You can just you can be yourself, all of yourself, and know that all of yourself is fine. It's perfectly fine. So that's what I would say. I'm me. Not the edited version, not the polite version, not the good version, not the I have to kind of, rein myself in a little bit and really be careful about what I say. I don't do that now. So that's really the difference. So if this is something that you are considering and you'd like to potentially explore this, where do you begin? Because this is not something that happens overnight. It's not like you need to take a new course or get a new coach or do some new program, some 90-day challenge. It's nothing like that. I would start by just asking yourself a simple question. How do I feel right now? How do I feel right now? And see what comes up. See what the first thing that comes up is. And you can speak this out loud with yourself. You can journal and just see what comes up with that question. But be honest, like really be honest. That's the biggest thing. Just be honest with yourself. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't think what you should think. Don't be what the right thing is. Just be brutally honest with yourself and see what comes up, and not have to kind of manage what's come up and make excuses for what's come up. Just be 100% honest with yourself and just start there. And then, how do I want to feel? How would I like to feel right now? And just being aware of these little sensations, and just again being honest with yourself about what you're desiring and where you want to be without explaining it away. All right. So I would begin there. Just start there, and you will slowly notice over time this connection with yourself. And again, it begins very quietly, very subtly, very, very quietly. So yeah, that's where I would begin. And if you've been living this way with this quiet unknowing that something's just not right, this low level, like something just feels off, but I can't quite place what it is, that you might be disconnected from yourself. And we don't need to push or manage or keep busy to be able to explore this. We really kind of just need to be honest with ourselves and start to explore what is true for us, really what is true for us. And I would also say that that feeling that you're feeling, It's an invitation. Your body's not trying to get you or anything like that. It's an invitation for you to come closer. It's an invitation for you to get to know yourself more. It's an invitation for you to really kind of get your attention back on that and really put your needs yourself forward again. So don't think of it as, why am I disconnected? But just think of it as an opportunity or an invitation. And that just changes your perspective a little bit more about that too. So so disconnection, it's again, it's so subtle, it's so quiet, it's so common. And I wanted to highlight this and give it some attention because I experienced this for so many years. And like I said before, I was, you're not aware of what you're not aware of. And I would just like to just bring this to the forefront because I think there's millions of women that are experiencing this and might not even be aware of it. So if you would like support with any of this topic or anything else that I've explored in this channel, you can always reach out to me. Check the link in the description. I've got a variety of different ways to work with me or some free offerings, whatever works for you, just to expand your horizon, expand your experience as well too. They're all available. So anyway, I'm wishing you all a lovely day, and I hope this video resonates with you and giving you some things to think about. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.